All right, ladies, let's get real for a second. You've probably found yourself wondering, is he into me? Maybe he laughs at all your jokes, texts you good morning, or remembers your coffee order. But the truth is, words can lie. Body language doesn't. When a man is attracted to you, one of the most telling nonverbal keys is where he places his hands. And one of the most powerful and often underestimated of these is the touch on the lower back. This gesture carries a quiet intensity, a blend of instinct and intent that reveals more than words ever could. It isn't accidental. It's not something men do with everyone. The lower back is a personal, vulnerable space. It's not a socially acceptable zone like the arm or the shoulder that might be touched in casual conversation. When a man places his hand on your lower back, even for a moment, it's a sign that he's thinking about more than friendship. He's thinking about connection, about closeness, about intimacy, maybe even subconsciously, but it's there. This kind of touch usually happens in transitional moments when you're walking into a room, moving through a crowd, or stepping aside to let someone pass. It's a guiding touch, but there's something primal behind it. In a group, if a man places his hand on your lower back as you move, what he's actually doing is establishing a subtle kind of protection. He's positioning himself as your guide, someone who wants to make sure you're okay. It's territorial in the healthiest way. Not about control, but about attention. He's signaling to others and to you that he's aware of you in the space and that his interest extends beyond conversation. The lower back touch is also significant because it requires a certain kind of confidence. Not every man has the boldness to reach there, especially if he's still unsure about your comfort level or how you feel about him. When he does, it shows that he feels a level of emotional permission to be close. He's reading your vibe, your signals, and responding to what he thinks is a green light. That's why it's important to notice not just that he touches your lower back, but how he does it. Is it fleeting? Is it firm? Is it casual or deliberate? All of these small details paint a clearer picture of his emotional intent. Some men might use this move instinctively without even realizing the layers of meaning behind it. But the impact is undeniable. It creates a spark. Because the lower back is one of those areas that heightens physical awareness. It's close to the core of the body, and even a light touch there sends signals to the nervous system. It can make you feel seen, noticed, appreciated. And when done with care and intention, yours. It's deeply flattering. It's the kind of gesture that says, I'm not just standing next to you, I'm attuned to you. There's also a psychological element at play here. From a body language perspective, the lower back is tied to trust. Allowing someone into that space is a sign that you feel safe around them. And conversely, when a man chooses to touch you there, he's stepping into that trust gap, hoping he's welcome. He's trying to bridge the emotional distance, not just the physical one. Unlike a hug or a handshake, which are mutual and expected, this touch is more intimate because it's not expected. It's subtle but meaningful. It invites a response, even if it's just a look or a shift in posture. If you've ever been out on a date and felt a man's hand lightly rest on your lower back as you walk toward your car or step into an elevator, you know the moment I'm talking about. It's brief but electric. It's not a full embrace, but it's far from nothing. It's not sexual, but it's undeniably suggestive. It's the kind of touch that says, I'm thinking about you in a different way. That 1 second touch can stay in your mind hours later, making you replay what it meant, whether it was just a moment or something more. In crowded environments, this gesture becomes even more pronounced. When a man uses his hand on your lower back to guide you through a busy space, he's doing two things at once: watching out for your physical safety and showing a kind of care that borders on instinct. He doesn't want you to get bumped or lost in the crowd. He wants to make sure you're with him, moving as a unit. That kind of behavior shows a desire to include you in his space, in his world. He's not walking ahead or behind. He's walking with you, maintaining contact. And that contact, especially in that spot, is a quiet form of claiming, not in a possessive way, but in a connected one. It's also worth noticing how this kind of touch differs from others. A touch on the arm might be used to emphasize a point in conversation. A brush of the hand might be accidental, a result of proximity. But the lower back is deliberate. It takes effort to reach. It takes decision. And that's what makes it so revealing. It's a move that says, I want to be close to you, even in small ways. And sometimes those small ways are the most meaningful. What's fascinating is that this kind of touch can happen early on in an interaction, even on a first date, and still feel appropriate if there's mutual attraction. Because it's not aggressive, it's not invasive, it's just enough to test the waters. If you respond positively, by not pulling away, by leaning into the gesture, that tells him a lot. It tells him he's on the right track. And in the psychology of dating and attraction, those little cues are everything. He may not even articulate it, but your reaction will either encourage or discourage the next move. For some women, the lower back touch can feel intensely romantic, almost like something out of a movie. And that's no accident. In visual storytelling, films, shows, even advertisements, that exact gesture is often used to symbolize chemistry and connection. There's a reason directors choose it. It's visually subtle, but emotionally loud. And in real life, it has the same effect. It's intimate without being overt. It's expressive without being loud. It carries the weight of attraction without needing any words. The context matters too. A man might touch your lower back when he's walking behind you and wants to keep you close. He might do it when you're saying goodbye and he doesn't want to let the moment end too soon. He might do it in the middle of a conversation where everything is flowing and that slight touch just adds to the emotional momentum. In each case, he's trying to create a bridge between physical space and emotional connection. That's what makes it such a strong sign of attraction. When a man is attracted to you, one of the most telling yet underestimated signs is the way he interacts with your arms or hands. Unlike more overt gestures, a brush of the arm or a casual touch of the hand is often dismissed as accidental or friendly. But when it's done repeatedly and in certain moments, it becomes a clear signal that he's trying to bridge the physical gap between you two. These touches are often brief, light, and seemingly effortless, but they're loaded with intention. They reflect his desire to be closer, to test your comfort level, and to create a sense of connection that goes beyond words. A brush on the arm during conversation might happen when he laughs at something you said, or when he's emphasizing a point. The truth is, it's not always about the conversation. It's about building rapport. Physical touch, even minimal, helps create a bond. It allows him to feel closer to you emotionally by being physically present in a way that's subtle and respectful. It's a micro move in attraction psychology to see how you respond, to see if you lean in or pull away, to see if there's reciprocity. These touches are often placed in moments of shared energy, when you're both laughing, when there's a moment of agreement, or when the chemistry begins to build. He's not just touching your arm to agree, he's reaching for a deeper form of closeness. The hand is an even more telling area. A man who touches your hand, even just briefly, is stepping into a space that is emotionally symbolic. Think about how we naturally associate hands with intimacy. Holding hands, placing a hand on someone's knee, linking arms, these are all acts of trust and familiarity. When a man brushes your hand or lets his fingers linger just a moment longer than necessary, what he's really doing is signaling his desire to connect. It's a low-risk, high-impact gesture, it says. I'm interested, but I'm respecting your boundaries. The way he does it matters too. Is it a casual tap, a playful nudge, or does his touch slow down, giving it just enough weight to make you notice it? All of these variations give you insight into how much he's thinking about the connection and how emotionally invested he already might be. There's also the context in which these touches happen. For instance, you could be walking side by side and his hand lightly grazes yours. Maybe you're both reaching for something at the same time and his hand stays there for a moment longer. Maybe he's guiding you through a door and his hand gently nudges your arm. These moments are quiet, but they carry a kind of energy that doesn't lie. He's initiating closeness in a way that's not overwhelming. He's offering an invitation to connect. If you respond positively, it encourages him. If you pull back or stiffen, he knows to respect that boundary. But the fact that he made the move in the first place is significant. It shows courage, interest, and a willingness to be vulnerable, because touching someone you like always involves a risk of rejection. Another key factor is repetition. If a man touches your arm once, it could be a coincidence. But if he does it 3 or 4 times in a short interaction, that's a pattern. And patterns reveal intentions. These repeated light touches show he's looking for a rhythm between you. He's subtly creating a sense of closeness. And more importantly, he's trying to see if you'll mirror that behavior. Humans mirror those they feel connected to. So if you find yourself touching him back, even subconsciously, it's a clear signal that the chemistry is mutual. Men pick up on this, even if they don't consciously realize it. It gives them the confidence to go further, not necessarily physically, but emotionally. These touches build a bridge from flirting to connection. In many ways, this kind of touch is a form of testing the emotional temperature. It's his way of checking, are we on the same wavelength? Because touching the arm or hand isn't just about attraction. It's about engagement. It shows that he's tuned into you, that he's reacting to you moment by moment. It's especially telling if he finds reasons to touch you in otherwise non-physical conversations. For example, if you make a joke and he laughs and lightly touches your arm, he's not just reacting to the humor. He's responding to you as a person. He's affirming that your presence matters to him. There's also psychological safety in this kind of touch. It's not intrusive. It's not demanding. It gives space for a reaction out pressuring you. That's why it's often one of the first forms of physical contact in the early stages of attraction. It opens the door to physical closeness without crossing any lines. It gives him feedback. How do you react? Do you smile? Do you lean in? Do you brush his hand in return? All of these signals help him decide how to move forward. He's not just feeling something. He's trying to read your feelings too. In settings like a dinner date, you might notice him reaching across the table to hand you something, and his fingers touch yours. Or maybe he places his hand lightly on your arm when he makes a heartfelt point. These are moments he could easily avoid if he weren't interested. The fact that he chooses to create those moments, however small, speaks volumes. He's building trust, touch by touch. And each small connection leads to a deeper emotional space. Touch is one of the most powerful love languages. And even when it's subtle, it creates lasting impressions. When a man uses touch to connect, not just to attract, you'll feel it. It won't be just physical. It will feel personal. These touches are his way of saying, I feel you. I want to be close to you. Not with grand gestures, not with sweeping declarations, but in the way his hand rests a little longer than it needs to, in the way he lets his fingers trail just a second longer, in the way he leans in and lets his energy reach you through a simple brush of your skin. Even in group settings, you may find that his attention finds its way to you through these small, pointed gestures. Maybe others are talking, but he's lightly tapping your arm to share a side comment, or during a shared laugh, his hand instinctively finds yours. These are not accidental. They're his way of focusing his energy on you in a subtle, socially acceptable way. While others are distracted or performing for the group, he's making a private connection with you. These small touches become your unspoken language, a way of saying something meaningful without speaking at all. Timing also plays a role. If these touches happen during moments of emotional vulnerability, like when you're sharing something personal or opening up about your life, it means he's not just listening, he's feeling with you. That touch on your hand isn't just comfort, it's presence. It's him stepping into your emotional space and saying, I'm here with you. That kind of empathy expressed through physical contact is a powerful form of intimacy that builds trust and lays the foundation for a deeper connection. When a man is truly attracted to you, there are gestures he makes that are more revealing than even he might realize. One of the clearest signs, yet often overlooked, is when he fixes your hair, removes a piece of lint from your clothing, or adjusts something small on you that others wouldn't dare to touch. These tiny acts of care might seem superficial at first glance, but they carry deep emotional weight. They're not just about helping you look better. They're about crossing an invisible line from distant interest into personal attention. When a man reaches out to move a strand of hair from your face or gently brushes something off your shoulder, he's expressing a subtle but meaningful sense of closeness. He's showing you that he notices the little things and, more importantly, that he wants to be involved in them. The choice to touch your hair or fix something on your body is not a casual one. It's intimate. Hair, in particular, is incredibly personal. We spend time styling it, maintaining it, and it often carries with it unspoken boundary. So when a man makes the move to reach out and tuck a strand behind your ear, smooth down a flyaway, or adjust your scarf or jacket collar, he's doing something symbolic. He's stepping into your personal space with care. He's saying, I'm close enough to notice and comfortable enough to act. These gestures go beyond physical attraction. They're rooted in attention, in care, in the desire to make you feel seen and cared for in small, meaningful ways. This kind of touch is also grounded in a nurturing instinct. When a man takes the time to remove a piece of lint from your sleeve or pick off a hair from your jacket, he's showing you that he's tuned in to your appearance, not in a critical way, but in a protective one. He wants you to look and feel your best. He wants to make a contribution to your confidence, even if it's something you wouldn't have noticed yourself. These actions are selfless in nature. He gains nothing physical from picking lint off your dress or fixing your necklace clasp. What he gains is a deeper connection, a moment of shared vulnerability, a sense of trust that only grows with time. The manner in which he does these things is equally important. Is he gentle? Is he smiling? Does he ask permission with his eyes before he moves in? All of these elements speak to how emotionally present he is with you. A rushed or careless gesture may feel intrusive, but a slow, thoughtful one, done with genuine care, can be disarming in the best way. It can create a moment that lingers in your memory, not because it was grand, but because it was real, because it made you feel that someone is watching out for you on a level that's beyond surface. You'll often find that these gestures happen at unexpected times. You're standing close, maybe in conversation, and he notices a thread on your sweater. Without hesitation, he reaches to remove it. Or you're walking together, and the wind blows your hair across your face. He gently moves it away from your eyes. In that moment, he's not just fixing your hair, he's touching something intimate, delicate, and doing so in a way that respects you while expressing his affection. That balance is rare, and it's one of the clearest signs that his interest isn't just physical, it's emotional. These types of touches also create a unique form of chemistry. Unlike the obvious signals of attraction like holding hands or hugging, these subtle actions fly under the radar. They bypass flirtation and land directly in the realm of emotional intimacy. They build trust. They create warmth. They speak to a kind of emotional fluency, a man who knows how to connect through presence, not performance. And when you respond positively, maybe by smiling or simply allowing it without flinching, you're giving him feedback that says, I trust you with this moment. There's also a timing element that makes these touches even more significant. They often happen in pauses between moments, when you're between conversations, walking side by side or sitting close together. They're not done for show. They're not part of a performance. They're private, intentional, and quiet. That quietness is powerful. It shows that he doesn't need an audience to show he cares. He does it because he's genuinely engaged with you. That authenticity is one of the clearest signs of true attraction, because it shows he's not just trying to impress you, he's trying to connect with you on a human level. When a man feels connected to you, he sees you in detail. He notices what others miss. That stray hair near your cheek, the way your necklace has shifted, a small smudge on your glasses. And instead of ignoring it, he acts not in a condescending way, but in a way that's supportive and kind. That instincts to help, to fix, to be of use. That's where attraction meets respect. That's where chemistry becomes care. And care is the foundation of something real. It's also worth noting that this kind of touch creates a window into his emotional availability. A man who is emotionally distant or guarded is less likely to notice, let alone act on these small details. But a man who is emotionally open and connected, he'll find himself reaching out with even thinking, because the drive to protect and care for someone he's attracted to is automatic. It's built into the wiring of emotional intimacy. These gestures, while small, reveal a huge amount where his heart is and how connected he feels to you in that moment. In social environments, this kind of behavior becomes even more significant when surrounded by others. If a man still takes the time to fix your hair or adjust your clothing, he's making a public statement in a private way. He's saying, I see you. Even here, you matter. Even in this crowd, he's choosing to focus on you. That selective attention speaks volumes about how much he values your presence. It's one thing to show affection in private. It's another to do so subtly in public, where it might go unnoticed by others, but never by you. This type of gesture can also serve as a transition between emotional states. Imagine you're having a serious conversation and you get emotional. He might reach forward and gently smooth your hair back as you look away. That touch isn't just physical. It's comforting. It's stabilizing. It bridges the space between what you're feeling and how he wants to support you. Or if you're nervous on a date and fidgeting with your sleeves, he might quietly reach out and help adjust your jacket. He's grounding you, anchoring the moment with his presence, using physical care as emotional support. Some men not even realize the depth of what they're doing. To them, it might just be a natural reaction. But the truth is, our instincts often reveal more than our words. And when a man instinctively chooses to fix something on you, he's expressing attraction in its purest form. Not sexual, not performative, but present, kind, and deeply attentive. He's letting you into a softer part of himself, one that's willing to engage with your world in the details. That kind of connection isn't just rare, it's real. It's the kind of chemistry that builds trust quietly, one gentle touch at a time.